Good Sunday morning, Oaklawn race fans. We come off of a fantastic day Saturday. I'm Nancy Holthus, joined alongside track announcer Matt Dinnerman. Matt, we had a very busy card yesterday, a lot of different things going on for our fans in the grandstand. What was kind of your overtake for the whole day?
Well, I think what I took away from it in terms of fanfare is that we have fantastic fans.
Yes,
it was a family-friendly atmosphere. It was Kids' Day yesterday. Gave out a lot of that free ice cream, face painting. I'm sure they used a lot of paint along the way. And what I took from the racing is we saw a lot of inside speed do well. However, it was, I thought, fairly fair for the most part because we did see a few off the pace outside horses, Majestic Oops, First Bid, a couple that come to mind right off the bat. So a little more fair than maybe it might look on first glance, but overall a fun day, and glad that the rain came early rather than during the race card, because by the first race the rain was done and you saw all these people come outside with what ended up being just a forecast day, overcast day.
I personally want to commend our track maintenance crew, Kevin Seymour, who leads that amazing group of guys. Job well done. Honestly, by seeing the track yesterday morning, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be iffy, but they had that thing souped up and ready to go by first post. Thank you for what you do. I actually called him this morning and said, I can't believe you guys pulled it off. And he said, that's what I love to do. I love to get out there. And he said, that wasn't even the worst I've ever seen. So kudos to our track crew for all of the hard work yesterday. Job well done. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather page, as it's a little chilly, but no rain today, thank goodness. Mostly sunny. I'm actually going to question that a little bit. It's supposed to get sunny later in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to keep the glass half full and say it's going to get sunny.
No wind right now. The track is going to start off as muddy and 58 degrees. And later in the afternoon, it's predicted to be up to 70 and get that sunshine. That'd be a really good treat to hopefully dry that track out. But again, fantastic job by our track crew, some of the best in the business. Let's take a look at our news page, as it was a very exciting field of 11 races yesterday. A riding double for jockey Abel Cedillo and Steve Asmussen scored the late daily double, and if you had it, you got $92 in your pocket. 9-1 Majestic Oops, no joke, in the Azeri. Could not be happier for Dan Ward. Obviously disappointed in Nitrogen's third place finish. Look at that, Matt, what the 50-cent pick 5 returns were yesterday.
Could be a life-changing score if you had that for a lot of people.
Yeah, no kidding, right? And we do go into today with a Classics carryover of just over $6,600. Something the players would wish it was $1,000. $6,600, and don't forget that 93 cents of change. And don't forget to get your tickets. The Chaplaincy Banquet Bash is this Thursday, March 12th. Tickets are $100. You can also purchase a table. There's live silent auction items, live music, food stations, and it is the event of the season. It is the Chaplaincy's primary fundraiser for the year. So we invite the horsemen, we invite the public to come celebrate our chaplaincy with us this Thursday. 25,000 fans were here yesterday, and that certainly felt it. I know Arkansas was playing in mainline. I heard the calling of the hogs multiple times throughout the day. A lot of really good energy. A lot of kids, which was so cool, watching them with their new little plushies. Very cool. But let's real quickly, Matt, talk about Majestic Oops. Had the ideal trip, not so much for Nitrogen. I did reach out to Mark Cassidy this morning and said, how's the girl? And he said, you know what, just our pride is hurt. So I said, you know what, she might have lost the battle, but she will not lose the war.
Well, I think Nitrogen got overbet. I think she should have been favored, but 1 to 5 was a ridiculous low price. I think the hype, Eclipse Award winner, the fact that she probably needed her first start, it appeared on paper anyway. Everybody sort of hammered her, when in reality that was a really good field, as we talked about on our pre-race show yesterday. And like you said, she didn't get the greatest trip. She sort of broke a step slow. I don't know if she would have won anyway, because Majestic Oops ran a big race. But I don't know if it was the track. But sometimes when Nitrogen, a horse like that, breaks that sort of just flat. You wonder if running was on her mind that day. I don't want to make too many excuses. And Dan Ward, what a phenomenal training job he's done with Majestic Oop.
So happy for that barn.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine, Irving Orozco's his name, who's a retired jockey yesterday, and he worked her before her very first race, and I called her at Golden Gate. This was in Northern California. She ran for 12.5 as a 2-year-old. So
unbelievable.
It's just like, wow. Who would have thought that she would have turned into a Grade 1 winner? And she must love this track, and she certainly has career best form right now. It's on to the Apple Blossom, and Dan actually told me that this was Plan B to run in the Azeri because there is the same partnership or part owners of Hull and Ice also own Majestic Oops, and Dan Ward's plan A was maybe we keep her sprinting in the matron. Hull and Ice is going in the matron, so they said, let's separate them and run her in the route. And Dan says, well, she can route, and sure enough, she did. So that's sort of the takeaway.
Yeah, definitely look forward to seeing her in the Apple Blossom. It'll be interesting to see. Sometimes, when you do have a loss like that, as Nitrogen did yesterday, sometimes they have to rethink what her future races are going to look like. But I like the fact that she did come back in good condition. And Mark alluded yesterday, she did win over the slot before by 17, but it was only a 3-horse field, and who did she actually beat? So, it was almost like a paid workout for her that day that she did win over the slop. So looking forward to that Grade 1 Apple Blossom. And how about Publisher yesterday? Oh my gosh, what a finish.
Yeah, that
Finally
was
broke
quite
the maiden.
race.
Came back. People were in my office and we were just cheering and hollering. What a phenomenal finish.
I feel like this horse just has so much raw ability, and sometimes he gets that herd instinct. I think he was pulling himself up when the other horse came up to him, and then once that other horse came up and really took the lead, Publisher re-engaged, and you saw Eric Asmussen give him 2 cracks of the whip, and then he extended stride and got up to win by a neck. He's figuring out what to do. Very talented horse, but boy, that was a fun race to watch.
It's like the light bulb came on, and he's going to keep it bright as long as he can. So,
can you imagine?
What an effort!
Can you imagine being a horse like that and running that fast and not really trying to win? That tells you how much talent he has as a raw ability racehorse. But that was. Look, I thought the Azeri was great, but that was probably the most wildest finish of the day.
Yeah, that was such a spectacular race. I had to bring that up. We do have 9 races on the Sunday program. We're going to start things off with Maiden Allowance, 3-year-olds and up, and they're going to go 1 mile in distance. Do have 1 first-time starter in the field, and a couple scratches. Take out the number 1, 2, and also Israel Hernandez will ride the number 6, Moolah.
Yeah, Moolah is going to be ridden by a new jockey today. I don't know if Jose Ortiz is on this 4-horse. I don't know because this is the only ride he has today.
I'm going to question that too.
And look, I'm not huge on Instagram really, but I do remember seeing an Instagram post from him and his story of him on an airplane. So
I'm going to look
after
up
the
on
races
Equibase
yesterday.
real quick.
Now, that being said, he's my top pick in this race, and people are betting this horse. And I think sort of the cards have sort of been shown a little bit in this poker game when you name up a rider like that with this supposedly to be his only mount, even if he doesn't ride the horse. I don't see Steve Asmussen horses going 111 out of the gate breezing. They don't breeze 6 furlongs usually, and certainly not that fast. There's a number of 5 furlong works by Tappet out of a Grade 2 winner named Valadorna, has produced 2 very nice horses. Tuscan Gold, a $300,000 earner, and that infamous rabbit for Chad Brown named Contrary Thinking, the rabbit for Sierra Leone, but both nice horses, the siblings. Taptastic certainly has pedigree to be good. Clearly, Steve thinks this horse is a router. I think these workouts, all these 5 furlongs, a 111 work out of the gate, which is customary to a good Bob Baffert type of workout
Yeah, even
horse.
6 furlongs.
Yeah, I think that they're trying to win with this horse early, and they think he's very nice. So I don't know if I don't know if he's going to ride this horse. Maybe maybe the plane turned around.
Well, I just got it through my ear, and I looked up Equibase. Jose is on 3 mounts at Fairgrounds, and Cody just let me know that Eric Asmussen is going to ride the number 4 Taptastic.
And
Thank you, Cody.
That still doesn't change my opinion on the horse because I think if you named him up, I don't think that's random. I think maybe there was a chance maybe he was going to stick around to ride this horse. So I think this horse could be a very nice horse.
I'm going to look to the number 3 Bon Temps.
I think it's Bon Ton.
Bon
Yeah.
ton. Sounds very French. Coming from the barn of Sippy Contreras, Manny Escobar aboard, this horse absolutely jumps off the page for me. Despite him being a professional maiden with 15 starts under his belt, he showed a lot of improvement in his last 2 starts here at Oaklawn. 2 back, he was third to 3 next out winners, including New What's New and Publisher. And we saw what Publisher did yesterday. Last out, he did go to the lead and caught late by Runaway Publisher. He's going to be the one to catch unless that Asmussen first-time starter is maybe the second coming. So very excited to see how this one lines up, even though it is an abbreviated field of 5.
And the track's muddy, so we don't know how this firster is going to take to that. And some of these other horses here, like Barker, Don at Normandy, they've never tried the mud.
Yeah.
So we're going to see. But he's a very intriguing item in the opener, and he's getting bet like a horse that maybe some people think can run a little bit.
For sure. Race number 2 is for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds, non-2, all for the claiming price of $40,000, and they are going to go 6 furlongs in distance, and Abel Cedillo will pilot the number 9 Royal Bro.
Well, Abel, as you mentioned earlier, won 2 races yesterday, Nancy, and I think he's got a live one here. This horse did not finish his last race, but it also was in a stake routing, and this horse is not a stakes horse, and he's not a router either, in my opinion. I think he's a horse that sprinting is what he'll want to do ultimately. Comes off a 3rd-place finish last time we saw him sprinting for 75 non-2 life. He's in for 40 non-2 off of freshening here for the Jimmy DeVito barn. Like this horse drawn outside, like the class drop, and I think if he runs back to his 2-back race where he was bothered at the break, had to steady early, was farther back than they probably projected him to be, and still rallied for 3rd into a fast pace, but nonetheless, I think this horse is very much spotted well. I don't think you're going to get 8-1. If you do, sign me up especially.
Go to the window then. I'm going to look a little further to the inside with the number 4 Pride's Prince, Manny Escobar, maybe getting that early double. This one teaming up with trainer Greg Compton, 4-year-old son of Munnings. Matt, you know how I love a Munnings.
Yes.
Really improved last out when dropping in against non-2 for $32,000. He did break from the rail over the slop and led that field of 11 until the top of the lane, faded a little bit and still wound up 2nd, and did beat several that are returning in today's field. Now, there is other speed in the group, specifically the Peter Miller runner who adds blinkers today. So we might see that one more forwardly placed. But Pride's Prince, I think, does look to be the one to catch. A really good group for race number 2. Race number 3 is, I love the program name, Grand's 85th birthday. I want to spend my birthday at the track too. So Gran, happy birthday. We're glad you're spending your 85th here with us. This is an auction maiden at the $75,000 level, 6 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies. There's 3 first-time starters here in the group 2 race for that $75,000 tag, and Rafael Bejarano will pilot the number 8 Anti-Vodka.
Yeah, Anti-Vodka in this spot here. I'm going to take a price in here, Diamond in the Rough. On paper, she looks like she's not fast enough. However, she ran 2nd last time out for maiden 50, freshens up here, and was a workout horse of the week out of the starting gate, Nancy. And I just feel that this filly, the way she worked, and you can go on YouTube on Out of the Starting Gate, our episode this week, to watch this workout. She had a very good workout. It was on February 18th, this particular drill going a minute and change, and then she followed that up with an easy 5 furlongs and 101. She did that easily. I think the fact that she worked that well, and now she's bumping up to 75, sort of tells me that maybe the barn thinks she's going in the right direction here. So I'm thinking that she's going to run a career best here based on her workouts. If she runs like she works, hopefully she's fast enough to be competitive at a price. So that's really the angle I have, is her very good workout recently. So we'll see. This seems like a spread race to me. Take a shot.
Well, I'm going to take a chance and go with that first-time starter. That's the number 4 Muskoka Cat. Jordan Blair, legs up jockey Christian Torres, is one of the 3 first-timers in this afternoon's group. Now, she's out of an unraced mare and sired by Vacoma, who is 22% from a large sample size with runners on debut. I don't think I've ever seen a number that high, but she should be also able to handle that off go, as the sire is also 21% over off tracks. I really like her 2 most recent drills, 48 flat on February 13th, and followed that up with 3 furlongs out of the gate in a very crisp 36-4, that back on February 22nd. So I'm going to take a shot. I don't know if Christian Torres rides a whole lot of first-time starters or for this barn, but I like the fact that he is in the irons today. It gives me a little more confidence.
Yeah, Jordan Blair is a Kentucky-based trainer, and Christian, of course, spends his summers in Kentucky in the fall. So not a surprise that he'd get him out like this here with Muskoka Cat, especially because I've seen this horse work once or twice, and I believe at least one of those works Christian was aboard.
Nice.
So
I like that.
He's gotten to know this filly a little bit.
Race number 4 is for 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 races since September 8th. They're in for that $30,000 claim price at the 6 furlong distance. And it's interesting, in this group, every runner is taking the drop in condition, including 11-year-old Payne, and we did have a scratch of the number 7 American Experiment. And also, sorry, Matt, the first leg of the Classics carryover, 6,600.
Yeah, and we're going to get some new money in there, of course. We look at race 4 here, and we talk about the third race maybe being a spread race. So is this one. I think this is even more of a spread race. I looked at this race. This was my watching paint dry on the wall race.
Okay.
Just looking at the race going, what am I going to do with this? This race is so wide open. All 6 have a big chance. Even Gunflash at 12-1. Cutting back in distance, he's got a big shot in here. So this is an all race for me. I went with Nasty Habit, removing blinkers here for Peter Miller. This horse hasn't run without the blinkers for a while, but when he did, that was when we saw his best form.
Yeah.
And Peter Miller's 28% blinkers off.
That's huge.
Yeah, from a 25-horse sample. Like, you look, second off a break between 45 and 180 days, Peter Miller, 8%. 31 to 60-day break between races, 18%. Dirt, 18%. Claiming, 13%. And then you just see this stat, 28%. It's
really
like,
jumps
whoa.
off the page, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
like those.
this move works well. Coming out of Delta Downs allowance races, in for 30. This horse has run here before and really hasn't had much success, really. But he's 1-for-1 over wet going. It's a wide open race. He's the 4th choice on the morning line, I think. Willing to give him a shot here.
I'm going to look to the number 5 Lundberg. Armando Hernandez has some pretty live horses today, in my opinion. Luis Saez aboard. This runner won here on opening weekend at the $30,000 level, finishing in front of American Experiment, who is now scratched, and also Payne. He does exit a 5th versus tougher open. 50,000 claiming company. He did flash some early speed through about the half and faded to run 5th. The winner came home in 109.3, so a really quick tempo. This runner also loves a wet track. In the money, 4 of 5 of those attempts, and the drop into beaten company is always a big move forward. Matt, have you ever had any bad habits, any nasty habits?
Yeah, I have.
Want to share?
When I was okay, Nancy. When I was in school, I used to bite on my pencils.
Well, that's not that bad.
But it's not good to put lead in your mouth.
Like,
you know what I mean? I don't want to be like George Washington's teeth by the end of it all. You know,
teeth.
he wore wood and lead and dentures and everything. But yeah, that was probably the worst nasty habit I had, other than being a 3-year-old and picking my nose or whatever. that I think we all do when we're little.
I used to bite my nails so bad, like down into the quick, and they'd bleed and everything. It's just probably one of those nervous ticks or something. But
same thing with biting the pencil, I think.
But at one point in my life, I had to bite my nails because I was taking piano. If my nails got too long, my teacher would cut them off and cut them into the quick. Yeah, Mom, that's what she did. So yeah,
did you give her permission to cut them off, or did you?
No,
just
she'd just do it. She was a very expensive piano teacher, so your parents just said, Go by what she says.
Yeah, and 2026 might be a little bit of a different story if your teacher did something like that.
I don't bite them anymore, but so.
And I still every once in a while find myself biting on a pen. Like all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second,
I know people that used to chew pen caps.
Really?
Like with the pens, that come off, the caps come off, and they would chew the pen caps. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Little insight to
There's a lot
Oaklawn
of
Today.
Nasty habits, and I'm sure some of them we wouldn't want to hear.
I think ours are not as bad as comparable to what other people may have a nasty habit.
No,
Yeah.
I do know somebody who has a sort of a nasty habit of if they drop food, they don't apply the 3-second rule on the ground. They're like, if it's on there 10 seconds, it's fine. And I'm like,
Yeah,
nah,
not so
it's
much.
not fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you drop anything at my house, it's going to be covered in dog hair. So yeah, that's not happening. Not happening at all. Let's proceed on after that glimpse into Matt and Nancy's life for race number 5.
Don't look at us any differently, please.
I think it might be too late.
Yeah.
Race number 5, as we take a look. This is an Arkansas-bred 3-year-old and up, non-winners of 3 or non-winners of a race since September 8th, $20,000 tag at a mile and a 16th, a field of 10, and several are actually returning to face state-breds after taking on open company.
Yeah, this is a race I don't have a strong opinion on. I picked Chrome's Echo, morning line favorite here. I think this horse getting to a route of ground will enjoy that. This horse actually only win last year. It came routing. And that route was in the wet going for maiden 50. Went to the lead and didn't stop and ran well. So getting back to the route game here, I think that'll help. And this horse has been a bit even paced in sprints. And sometimes I like horses that try stretching out when they're evenly paced in sprints because they can stay all day and they just keep sort of grinding away. And especially with the Arky breds, Nancy, some of these guys and gals here, some of them do have distance limitations. So I really hone in on who wants to route in these Arkansas bred claiming type of races.
I'm not a fan of the 9-post position for Devil's Fork, but I'm going to go ahead and give this one a shot. Johnny Ortiz and Johan Rosado team up here. The short-leaf homebred hit the board 2 and 3 starts back, sprinting against fellow Arky breds, but stretched out last time at today's distance, taking on open non-2 for 32 and split the field to run 5th. Certainly stands to move forward back on the drop and against state breds, and also consecutive start at the distance today. And this distance was also when he won his maiden breaking effort. So I'm going to go with Devil's Fork, the short leaf homebred, in race number 5. And we're going to take a quick break here on the Sunday edition of Oaklawn Today. And when we come back, we'll discuss the late 50-cent pick 4.
Experience the excitement of horse racing with Oaklawn Anywhere. If you're an Arkansas resident, you can watch and wager on horse racing from around the globe, whether you're at home or on the go, with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a sign-up bonus. With access to past performances, live video, race replays, and expert handicapping data, you're always in the know with no subscription fees. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere, exclusively available to Arkansans. Right, Max? Oaklawn Anywhere. Our season never ends. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Feeling lucky? Get ready to find your pot of gold at Oaklawn. Swipe your ID on live race days to earn entries into our $17,000 Lucky Loot drawing. On Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, your swipe earns you double entry. And on Saturdays, a single entry. Drawing day is Saturday, March 14th, and you must activate your entries by swiping your ID before the start of race 7 to be eligible for the final drawing. After races 1 through 7, 5 winners will be called to claim prizes ranging from $300 to $1,000 each, all part of Oaklawn's Lucky Loot celebration, where 35 winners will share $17,000 in cash. Shamrocks, swipes, and some serious cash. Lucky Loot brings the luck of the Irish right here to Oaklawn, so don't miss your chance to find the pot of gold.
Matt and I always discuss what we are binging, what we're watching, and his mom obviously was a nurse and knows a lot. We were discussing a few things off air, and I just told Matt about Pitt on HBO Max. Binge worthy, absolutely great show.
There's a million shows now with all the streaming services. I've gotten like 10 different suggestions, and I'm like, well, there's 6 seasons of this suggested. I don't know how I'm going to be able to watch all this
For
stuff.
me, if it's like 3 seasons in, it's like, oh, it's too much commitment. I can't do it.
I'm watching Better Call Saul. I'm in season 4 because I watched all of Breaking Bad, and I'm just sort of like, I need to see this. But I'm in agreement with you. There are some 9, 10 seasons. That's going to take a long time.
Yeah, that's a lot of commitment.
Yeah,
that's a relationship right there.
Maybe I got to start watching in between races. I guess
There you go.
I usually have too much work to do, but we'll try. Pitt is the name of it.
Pitt. We are back with race number 6, the first leg of the late 50-cent pick 4. A lot of speed in this field. Fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. A starter at the 12-5 level, and they're going to go 6 furlongs in distance. A field of 10 with no scratches, no changes.
Yeah, this is another very competitive race. This is a competitive card. I am just going with the runner who has good form, Jetpack. I know she's 0 for 3 on the wet going. Has run terrible. However, 2nd, 3rd, 4th starts of her career, 2 of those races she was routing. She's a sprinter. Some of those races she faced tougher. There was a stake involved. So I'm like, okay, let's give her one more chance over the wet going in a spot where she can be competitive. She's a lot better than she was last year. If she doesn't run well, then we really know, okay, she really doesn't like the wet going. But she's won 3 in a row. She just continues to run well. She's won all 3 races with more in the tank. I just like a filly in a claiming race like this that's going in the right direction.
I couldn't agree more. With that said, I'm going to go a few stalls inside of Matt's pick with the number 4, Icy River. Armando Hernandez and Luis Saez team up again in race number 6. Now, the 7-year-old is looking for her 10th trip to the winner's circle and makes her 2nd start for the barn, joining it back in mid-December off the $10,000 claim at Remington. Now, she's been knocking at the door, posting a trio of runner-up efforts since most recently here against time-restricted $20,000 claiming. There is quite a bit of speed in this group, but I think she'll settle well within that first flight of runners. And the barn also 17% when racing, 2nd off the claim. So really good field for race number 6. And I just want to remind everybody, make sure you look between the races in your program because it always lists our promotions, our giveaways, and it announces the Torpedo Anna Bobble Horse giveaway on Friday, March 27th.
And I saw one
Fantasy
recently.
Day. They're so cute.
They're very cool.
They're very good quality.
And she's got the same saddle towel as she wore when she won the Apple Blossom.
So really cool.
Yep. What a champion.
Oh,
and
I miss her.
I think we all do.
Her. I miss her social media.
Doesn't she have an X account, Twitter account, whatever you want to call it?
I follow it big time. Yeah. But she's in full, so she'll be a good mommy.
She's going to be a great mom.
She
had a great
mom.
mind.
Yeah.
She had a little bit of. She was a little on the feisty side at times, but she could also be very sweet.
I like a feisty filly.
I know you do. Nancy, even Paul said you could be a little bit of a feisty filly yourself. Paul told me that. Sorry, Paul, if I said that publicly. He wouldn't mind. He probably has told you before.
No, but remind me to tell you something off air. One of the funniest stories that's happened to me this week. Race number 7 is for 4-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3. Claim price, $32,000, and they're going to contest a mile and a 16th. Scratch the 1. That's a late scratch. The 1 is out, which does leave us a field of 8.
Yes, it does. And we're going to go to the outside here for my top pick, Yellow Brick, who last time out did not run well routing, really, but was bet that day, just didn't run well. But Tom Amos, first off the claim, 21%. Here he is with that move today. We saw that with Carbone last week. So let's keep the roll going on here. And I just like this horse. I don't think that last time he ran his best race. I think his best race is very much good enough to win this. So we're looking for a rebound here.
I didn't have a real strong opinion against this field, but I did land on, the number 2, Fireball Birdie. Steve Asmussen giving the leg up to Eric. Last time we saw this 5-year-old was back on opening weekend facing 50 non-3 starter allowance runners at the mile distance. Did draw an outer post that afternoon. Also, 2nd start when racing off a 9-month layoff. Chased the pace, just kind of flattened out in the lane to run 4th, but that race did produce 2 next out winners. The considerable class relief is obviously a big move closer to the winner's circle and now does draw that rail or that further inside post position. Very good feature today. Just want to premise that. Race number 8 is 4-year-olds and up, a second-level allowance optional claim price of $62,500. They'll go a mile and an eighth. And we look to see the Florida Invader, who is 2 for 2 at today's distance. Also, make the pilot on the number 7 classify Manny Escobar.
Yeah, Stars and Stripes, he's going to be tough in here. He was second best, outfinished a horse by the name of Batten Down for second in an allowance, and we saw Batten Down win the Pig Trail Overnight Stakes at a mile and a half. Nice horse for Bill Mott. Now he's got his stablemate here. Like to see Bill running some horses here.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart move on his part, too, from a bias perspective, but look at all the money we give out here.
For sure.
I mean, he's making a good paycheck doing this, as are the owners and the riders. So Stars and Stripes, my pick in here. I just think he finds an easier field. I know he lost last time at this level, but this is an easier group overall. And Luis Saez has the call. His last day riding here until he moves along into Florida.
I saw him in the hallway or the stairs going down to the paddock the other day. I said, man, thank you for coming. We will miss you, but it is very hard to be away from your family, especially when they're young.
What did he have to say when you told him that?
No, he just smiled. He's like, yeah, I mean, it's tough, you know, when you really pick up momentum and everything, and then you go back home. Sometimes it can be, you know, a little bit different.
For sure.
So, but yeah, we were so fortunate to have him here, though.
He had a good meet. He made a lot of money, and you know, he traveled a little bit as well to other places along the way. So he wasn't here every single day, but he was here for the majority of the meet that we've had so far. And, you know, we encourage new riders. I think it's really healthy to get new guys here to give it a shot. And some of them will do really well, and we see how well our mainstay riders do here. Christian Torres, Ramon Vasquez, Francisco Arrieta, guys like that. But with the money we give out, we'll always see new riders come along. And I think that's a good thing, and I think people should give it a try if they want to make it, especially the next level. Maybe Luis, he's at a top level, but there are some guys who come here and sort of from a lower tracks, that B-level tracks that ride really well and win a lot of races, and then they really improve their business.
Yeah, sometimes when you go to a new circuit, it can be kind of hard to get the ball rolling. Luis kind of went on the duck there for a little while, but once his momentum picked up, it definitely continued. So really happy to see that.
And he's got a brand where trainers will want to ride him just on the name alone. They're going to say, I want him on my good horse. He rode a lot of higher quality good horses. So we're going to miss him, and, you know, there are quite a couple different riders. Joel Rosario left after a little bit, staying in Florida. He's got a home there.
Yeah,
so
we could certainly expect to see them back here on our busy days for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to look at Stars and Stripes as well, everything that Matt had mentioned. Also, he's half to a graded stakes winner, Waves of Mischief, and the fact that he is a perfect 2 for 2 at the distance, and he scored those wins by a combined 17 and 3/4 lengths, breaking his maiden then against first level allowance companies. So definitely is the one to beat in our feature on the Sunday card. As we close out with race number 9, in tradition, Arkansas breds, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, maiden claiming $20,000. And as we take a look at the field, did have a couple scratches, taking out numbers 5, 7, 12, and the 13 does draw in.
Yeah, and that's a good thing for me because I like her in here. I'm like, yes, I have a long shot play today.
It. There you go.
She's 12-1 on the morning line. Her last 2 races, boy, couldn't have been worse. But 2 starts ago, she routed. Doesn't want to route. Last time out, she made a move on the inside early in the race to try to get position, got slammed into the rail pretty much, and had to take up, and then that was that. So she's in for 20 today, dropping in class. She's drawn outside. Hopefully she gets a good trip. I know 3 of her 4 races she's lost by a long ways, but one of those races was in an open main special weight at Keeneland. She's had some excuses. She's not a world beater, but I'm willing to give her a shot here.
I'm going to go to the number 9, Ernie Witt's Sweet Baby D. Christian Torres aboard is going to make her 6th lifetime career and also 3rd off of the break. She was runner-up 2 back against Open Maiden 20, and that effort came off a 10-month layoff. She did return 2 weeks later against Statebred Maiden 40 to run 3rd. Now she's back in against Statebreds today, and hopefully is going to have enough speed in the field, as she does like to kind of sit off, rate, and make one big run late in the lane. So 9 races on the afternoon, but we also have a $20 show bet bonus parlay that we have put together. Our long shot and our top pick. Matt's going to go with races 1, 4, 7, 8. Wind it up. What's the word I'm looking for?
Wound it up.
Anyway,
Winded. No,
my
it's
brain
wound
just
up.
went
He
blank.
wound up. She wound
There
up.
you go.
Yeah.
He concludes with race number 8 with
Yes.
Stars and Stripes.
Finishes it out,
There-
whatever you want to call it.
Thank you. I'm lost for words. I'm going to go with 3, 4, 5, 6 in races 1, 2, 4, 5. Long shot play of the day. Matt's going to the nightcap with Rombo Quetz Tallahassee, and I'm going to go with a first-time starter in race number 3. Top pick. There you have it, folks. Sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Stars and Stripes in the 8th and feature. She will be wearing that pink saddlecloth.
Also, I just have to tell you, I had to put Payne in the show bet bonus parlay.
I love that.
I picked him
I love
second,
that
but
horse,
he's
yeah.
he's in the show bet bonus parlay. What a cool horse.
11 years old and still going. I can see at the end of his racing career him becoming like a star stable pony
Oh, definitely.
because he loves the racetrack. He likes
Yeah.
the routine and everything. So
I mean,
love that.
in Washington State, Wasserman, who was a Long Acres Mile winner, he's probably 20 years old
Yeah.
now, and he goes to in the barn, and he's an ambassador. He's not
I
a pony,
love
but
that.
he's an ambassador. People get to pet him, and they even bring him to the paddock for their morning shows there, and you can ride him.
I want to
So-
bring a horse to the paddock
Yeah.
for Dawn at Oaklawn.
Maybe Payne.
Maybe Payne one day.
one
I'll talk with Wayne Potts and
Yeah,
see what
there
he
you
thinks.
go.
I love it. Again, 9 races on the card. We return back on Thursday for discount day, and we have some amazing races coming up this weekend. So thanks for joining us on this Sunday edition of Oaklawn Today. For track announcer Matt Dinnerman, I'm Nancy Holthus. Good luck and good racing.